Live from the Caterpillar Global Communications Center at Bradley University, this is BUTV News.
Good evening and welcome to BUTV News. I'm Anthony Landau.
And I'm Imani Shamsuddin. Let's take a look at the news.
Bradley staff members Susan Brill de Ramirez and Antonio Ramirez Barone have both been confirmed dead by Peoria County Police. The couple was reported missing Sunday night, according to the Chicago Tribune. Their son, Jose Gia Ramirez, has been charged with first-degree murder, while his friend Matthew J. Roberts faces counts of obstruction of justice and concealment of a homicidal death. Their bodies were located yesterday in Spoon River. Students are encouraged to call the counseling office at 309-677-2700.
Confirmed by the Peoria Journal-Star, the director of Bradley's speech team, Ken Young, will no longer be leading the team or teaching at Bradley University. Young resigned from his post late last week in light of sexual assault allegations. The allegations are from roughly 10 years ago at an out-of-state university. While the story broke last week in the Peoria Journal-Star as well as local news stations, Bradley has yet to release a comment on the allegations. A university spokeswoman told the Journal-Star Ken Young has resigned from Bradley in order to spend more time with his family.
BUTV Investigates returns this week with another special report, this time on the parking department.
Here's our very own Sam Kohlmeyer with a deep dive on policy, regulation, and a bit of mystery.
It's no secret that the parking office exists, but you'll never hear about it until you need to purchase a parking pass or you break the rules. Bradley University is landlocked, which means that parking on campus is tightly enforced and highly regulated. Students, faculty, and even visitors are all held at the exact same standard for knowing, remembering, and living by the hefty catalog of parking rules that tolerates no room for gray area or forgiveness. The rules here are black and white. Of course, for those that follow the rules, there aren't any consequences, but for those that don't, there's a fine each and every single time. $15 for most parking infractions doesn't sound like that much, but for a college student with a job, it can be significant. Now, other universities traditionally have higher ticket fees. Bradley's actually on the lower end of the spectrum, but Bradley's also had this fee for about 15 years, and guess what? No one at the university knows why or how that number, $15, was ever constructed. It's just been 15 bucks, and it's always been that way. I met with two representatives from the parking department to talk about where this fee came from and why the university's regulations are the way that they are, but neither of them wanted to actually appear on screen. So instead I met with the university's PR representative, Renee Charles. Here she is.
Hope everyone doesn't hate me for telling me to follow the rules, but I'm the same way. I understand that sometimes I want to park right in front. It's cold out, I'm wearing heels, or I got a whole bunch of stuff to carry. And it doesn't always work that way. And I've gotten a ticket just like other people have, so I get it. But the big focus is make sure that you know the responsibility that you have as the parking pass holder and what you have to do to make sure you don't get in trouble.
And you think knowing those rules is reasonable? Memorizing the rules are
and it's not even memorizing. It's just, you can park in the blue spaces or the yellow spaces or the white spaces, depending on what pass you have. And it's kind of, I think it's common sense to know, don't park in a space where it says no parking. Or, if you park in front of a fire hydrant, that's common sense, don't do that.
And Renee's not wrong here. If you look at the rules one by one, they might seem a little bit petty, but overall, they aren't unreasonable. They aren't ridiculous. They are the rules, and they should be followed. But still, I was curious. On the average day, how many tickets are actually going out? Throughout this entire story, I've had a really hard time talking to people from the parking department. And finally, I found someone giving out tickets. Here's what they told me.
It depends on the day. Like today, for example, I gave out at least around 30, 35 or so. On slower days, I'll give out maybe 15 or 20.
The math here isn't hard. That's over $500 from one ticketer during one shift for one day. There are multiple ticketers, there are multiple shifts, and clearly Bradley is not ticketing one day each year. So based on a very conservative estimate of about $225 for around 160-ish days per year, that's upwards of $35,000 in ticketing alone. And that is a conservative estimate. Again, it could be $500 a day, not $225. The twist? Bradley doesn't have any plans to expand parking in the future. So where's all this money going? I was told by someone at the parking office that the ticketers actually get paid from the account that the ticket money goes to. Whether or not there's an incentive to ticket more, I'm not entirely sure, but one thing I can say, Bradley Parking is here to stay, and they're not going anywhere anytime soon. For BUTV News, I'm Sam Kohlmeyer.
Interesting stuff, Sam. Coming up after the break, Larry Larson will have your weather forecast.
And Kelly Rogers has your entertainment news. Stay with us.
Hey, did you hear what the egg said after a night out of drinking?
What?
Lit. Did you bring the smokes?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks. Sorry, I didn't have any time to get them today. I'll pay you back.
No problem. I don't understand how you can smoke those anywhere.
It gives me an edge. Like, I just feel more relaxed when I have them.
I can do that without smoking anything, though.
Look, you gotta try one before you judge me.
You know what? Never mind.
Join the cause to help end the use of cigarettes. For more information, visit thetruth.com.
How observant are you? Do you see me walking down the halls? How about the sidewalk? Why do you insist that I'm not there? How observant are you? Do you notice that I don't belong? Do you notice that nobody cares? Do you notice that my life is worthless?
Not at all. But I notice you.
And it's Scary Larry Larson here on Halloween.
That's me.
I heard we've been feeling some pretty good Halloween weather today. It's classic Halloween.
Yeah, you know, it's pretty unlike Halloween. You know, I'm scary, but the weather has not been scary quite yet.
No.
Quite yet. However, we are getting there. But like you said, today and the past days have been nice. If we take a look at the radar. For right now, we actually had some rain, some thunderstorms last night, which is pretty rare for late October. Actually, after those showers moved off to the west, we've had a pretty sunny day today, and then the clouds have just rolled in this evening, so it looks kind of gloomy, kind of in the Halloween spirit. If we take a look at the temperatures for today, like we said, kind of warmer. Another pretty warm day. Yesterday was kind of warm. We've got 60 in Peoria, 60 in Chicago, 55 in St. Louis. And the average temperature for Halloween is actually 58 degrees. So you may think, oh, 60 degrees, kind of warm for Halloween. We're actually right there on average, just about. Another thing that's been keeping our temperatures nice and seasonable is the wind. The wind hasn't really been strong, with the exception for last Sunday. It was a really strong wind, but we haven't had a lot of wind. Taking a look at the 5-day forecast, it starts to cool down. Thursday we hit 54, and then it starts to cool down a little bit more even into this weekend. Make sure to break out your umbrellas as the low pressure system moves in Sunday and Monday. We're looking at showers both those days early next week. That's it for weather. Let's hear hear about entertainment with Kelly.
After 45 years of full makeup, tall boots, and elaborate costumes, Kiss is hitting the road for their final tour. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame band will launch their end-of-the-road tour on January 31st in Vancouver. They will then go on to play an additional 43 dates throughout North America for their farewell excursion. The final tour will include band members Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, Tommy Thayer, and Eric Singer for the multi-year run that promises dates until at least 2020. Megyn Kelly's talk show was canceled last week due to on-air remarks in which she defended the use of blackface for Halloween costumes. The former Fox News anchor is known for having controversial opinions, but this specific remark was the last straw for NBC. She was signed on for a $69 million contract, and it is still unsure if she will receive the full amount following her departure. Nicki and Cardi B decide it's time to move forward. After a long battle of back and forth, the rappers finally came to an agreement. All eyes have been on these two since September during New York Fashion Week, when the two had a physical altercation. The rappers have posted rants on social media, and after a long back and forth, Cardi B has decided to focus on the positive things from here on out.
I'm glad we had an end to this Cardi B Nicki feud.
Agreed.
It really gives me some closure, but I still don't think they've agreed.
Probably not. There's so many more important things happening.
And after the break, we'll have an exclusive interview with Hannah Stiff about her furry friends.
And we have more campus news next. Stick with us.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Is it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
For too long, there's been too much silence.
We've stepped back when we should have stepped up.
We lack the bravery to have the tough conversations.
It stops now.
It stopped with us.
As campus leaders, we recognize that sexual assault is a real problem.
And it's time to take action.
We're standing together as a community because this issue affects all of us.
And we can only end it if we are braver together.
Starting now, we don't look the other way. We make it a move and do something.
Before it's too late.
We promote a culture of respect for all students.
We say something even when it's easier to remain silent.
We stand up for survivors.
We never blame them.
We hold our friends, our leaders, our teammates,
and ourselves accountable for our actions.
And when we see something wrong, we're brave enough to interrupt. We say something.
We do something.
We watch out for each other.
Always.
Being a Bradley Brave means
ending the silence.
Together, we can work to end sexual assault and rape culture in our community.
Together, we can do the right thing.
Together, we can do the brave thing. Make your move and stand with us.
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 And we can all be braver together.
Parents and children from the Peoria community were invited to Fredonia last Thursday for a family-friendly trick-or-treating event hosted by Greek Life. Here's Sam Kohlmeyer with the latest.
Hey guys, it's Sam with BUTV News. I hope all of you are doing great. I'm out here at Fried and Fun on Fredonia. There is so much stuff happening, tons of cute costumes, tons of cute kids. Let's go ahead and check out everything right now.
With every house on Greek Row participating in the event, each house tried their best to offer a unique treat that no one else was dishing out. Upbeat as always, I asked members of Greek Life about some of the best costumes they had seen so far.
I saw a girl dressed up as Sleeping Beauty. It was really cute.
We've seen Batman, we've seen Iron Man, we've seen witches, we've seen it all. Some really great costumes and some really great smiles.
There was one really good witch.
Like a witch, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of cute costumes. Yeah, they're killing it.
Spider-Man, he had it really good.
Was a cutie.
He had it all on. He was going for it.
I can confirm that Spider-Man was definitely a big winner here. Also a big winner, the candy. It was fantastic and I enjoyed every single piece of it. I also spoke to some parents about the event and they told me why they stopped by and why they love the event so much.
Our kids look forward to this every year. They loved going trick-or-treating in our neighborhood, and it's a second opportunity besides Halloween, so they're really excited to get out here and play games and collect all the candy.
I think it's safe to say that Fright and Fun this year was definitely an overwhelming success per usual. For BUTV News, I'm Sam Kohlmeyer.
Last Thursday, Common Ground hosted the event LGBT in the Arts. The keynote speaker was Bradley alumni Cecile Baldwin. Baldwin is known for voicing the main character on the podcast Welcome to Night Vale. During this event, he touched on his time at Bradley, the rise of his career, and what it's like being an openly gay, HIV-positive person in the industry. Baldwin also gave advice to students about coming out to conservative parents by using art.
Maybe they're willing to talk about it, maybe they're not. Maybe they'll start thinking about it, and maybe it will plant a seed that will become a conversation, that will become acceptance later.
For more information on upcoming events hosted by Common Ground, be sure to follow them on Instagram at mycommonground.com.
When you see them around campus, odds are you get pretty excited. All shapes and sizes. Service dogs, although cute, provide an important service for many people. Jade Sewell is live at the Mark and Rec Center with the president of Wags for Mags to find out more. Jade?
Thanks, Anthony. I'm in the basement of Mark and Recreation Center with Hannah and Vanessa, two trainers for Wags for Mags, and their service dog, Loki. So, Vanessa, what exactly is Wags for Mags, and what's going on here tonight?
Wags for Mags is a student-based organization where we train service dogs, and we give them for free of charge because dogs are actually ranging from $20,000. So we train them here on campus.
Last Friday evening, the Alpha Chi Omega sorority held their annual quesadilla night at their house on Fredonia. The evening began at 5 p.m. and ran until 9. With quesadillas being served consistently throughout that time, attendees paid $5 benefiting Alpha Chi's philanthropy for their choice of either cheese only or cheese and chicken quesadillas. Lettuce, tomatoes, sour cream, and more were also available for no additional charge. But the best part was definitely the fact that the quesadillas were all you could eat. In case you missed it this year, be sure to attend next year's event for the cheesiest quesadillas in town.
If you're looking for some new musical artist to follow, you might not have to look much farther than the Bradley campus. Last Friday, Bradley hosted 3 student musicians in the Student Center for a free concert. The hour-long concert started at 1:30, included singer Miss Rose, rapper Vinny Chills, and electronic artist Tyronic. Despite the broad range of musical genres featured in the concert, each act drew a sizable crowd. Every artist performed at least 2 songs. If you would like to know more about the artists, you can contact the concert's organizer Carlos Juarez at cjuarez@mail.bradley.edu. This past Sunday, one Bradley Brave took it upon herself to throw a Halloween-themed event in the Marty Theater. Tia Baylor, who goes by Lady Rose, threw a video release party for her new single, Gone. She provided snacks for guests and gave out gifts to the best costumes. Baylor says this event was geared to encourage musical guests to do more on campus and introduce the new organization Performing Art Plug.
Campus as well, so I want to show people like, oh, you can actually do things with music on campus, and I want to show them it can be more diverse because I want to focus on diverse sounds.
For more information on her video or the Performing Art Plug, you can contact Tia Baylor at tbaylor@mail.bradley.edu.
Last Thursday, the Smith Career hosted its annual graduate and professional school fair. Over 80 colleges and programs filled the Student Center ballroom in order to look for its next batch of graduate students from Bradley. Programs included University of Kansas, University of Illinois, Millikan University, National University of Health Science, University of Wisconsin-Madison, and many more. If you weren't able to attend the fair or still have questions about going to graduate school, contact the Smith Career Center.
Last Thursday, the Peoria World Affairs Council once again hosted a discussion based on what the relationship between the United States and Canada looks like. Krista Broom has the story.
The relationship between Canada and the United States benefits us in a wide variety of ways, but especially when it comes to trade. Considering our two countries share a border, it makes a lot of sense that we trade as many goods as we do.
We do $2 billion of trade every day. On average, a truck filled with NAFTA goods crosses our mutual border every 2 seconds.
The U.S. and Canada trade a lot of iron, aluminum, and steel. In fact, we averaged a total of almost $20 billion between the years 2015 and 2017.
Our trade is highly complementary. We sell you a lot of primary goods and we import from you a lot of manufactured products. And we make a lot of goods together.
Even though a lot of changes have been going on within the government, John feels optimistic about the renewal of the free trade agreement.
Renewing our free trade agreement was a really important milestone. I'm confident we can take further steps to affirm our place as the model in the world for cooperation and genuine friendship.
After the discussion, there was a chance for audience members to ask questions and get additional input from John on trade issues. For BUTV News, I'm Krista Broom.
Last Saturday, the Bradley Percussion Ensemble performed in the Peters Recital Hall of Dingledine Music Center. The evening started out with students performing solo pieces on the snare drum, timpani, and some funky vibrations of a xylophone I don't even know the real name of. Following the solos was a loud and exciting drum line, and then the evening ended with all the musicians on stage at once playing fast-paced music worthy of being in a movie someday. If you missed this event, the music department still has plenty of free upcoming events this semester. If you're a night owl, this event is for you. Join St. Jude with their fight against cancer in Up Till Dawn. Stay up for a cause. Here's how you can help. St. Jude's Up Till Dawn No More Cancer Rally was held last Thursday here at the GCC. This event was designed to get people excited for their upcoming event and to get them involved with St. Jude. Executive Director Ramsden talks about how they celebrate each child's journey fighting against cancer.
At St. Jude, every time a patient finishes treatment, they get what's called a no more chemo party, and all of their doctors, their family, and their nurses get together and they celebrate the end of their chemotherapy at St. Jude. There's confetti, there's a cake, and they sing a no more chemo song every time a patient gets to go home.
If you want to get involved with supporting St. Jude, you and 6 friends can register for their all-night event on Friday, November 16th at the Peoria Riverfront Museum.
Before the Halloween festivities end, you might want to think twice about what you wear and how it might affect others. Costume or Culture, a conversation about cultural appropriation, is an event put on by Student Senate to inform the campus about what's appropriate and what's not for this holiday. This is geared towards students to help them understand what is and isn't okay to wear as a costume. With this knowledge, students will be able to educate their peers and others around them about what is right and wrong. Student Senate reminds us that it's okay to enjoy something of a different culture. Just be mindful of your choices and use it in a respectful manner.
Last week, the Markin Family Student Recreation Center celebrates 10 years of being on Bradley's campus. Let's check out how they decided to party.
Back in 2008, Markin first opened its doors to campus and the community. Founded by David Markin, this facility is 130,000 square feet of equipment and college-length courts. On average, about 1,000 students come through Markin every day, and it cost almost $30 million to build. The unique thing about Markin is there's a wide variety of activities you can choose from.
The ability to go in and do whatever sort of activity that you're wanting to do. So whether you're wanting to work out or you're wanting to play pickup basketball or indoor soccer or racquetball or badminton, there's so many different sports or different physical activities that you could play regardless of whatever your personal interests or passions, wherever they lie.
Markin hosts a number of intramural teams, sporting events, as well as classes. Charlie explains how Markin has benefited Bradley.
The facility in general, specifically Markin here, is the site of many different intramural sporting events. So Bradley hosts over 20 different intramural events. There's over 20 different club sports teams that are able to utilize this facility for practice and even home tournaments, such as the volleyball team that I know, the men's volleyball team has a tournament coming up on November 3rd here. and in general, it just provides students with an opportunity to take a little bit of a break from classes and work out and just utilize the facility and everything that it has to offer.
To celebrate this coming of age, the staff set up games and free food for students to enjoy. Over the years, Markin had changes in staff and equipment that benefited the university. Cheers to 10 years, Markin. For more information about events going on in Markin, check out Hilltop Happenings or the Bradley website. For BUTV News, I'm Elise Holzkoff.
Last week, Alpha Chi Omega brought Chelsea Tams of Lettering Works to talk to students about domestic violence. Founded in 2016, Lettering Works is the result of an artist's dream. Lettering Works is a custom lettering and design company that utilizes hand lettering to achieve more personal and genuine communication. Chelsea talks about why lettering against domestic violence should be important to the community.
I think this event, Lettering Works Against Domestic Violence, benefits the community by helping raise awareness for domestic violence, and having lettering that's more intentional and unique really draws more attention to the message.
About maybe gridding out where
For more information about Lettering Works, check out their Facebook or Instagram at Lettering Works.
Campus Convos is back and covering the typical favorite Halloween questions. For this episode, you'll notice it was shot in a nightmarish location, a place many students dread ever stepping foot in, Markin Rec Center. Reporter Ben Pollard and his cameraman were lucky to make it out alive and share the footage. Beware.
Hello, I'm Ben Pollard for BUTV News, but today I'm Spider-Man. Let's go to ask some students some spooky questions about Halloween. What is your favorite Halloween movie?
Big Halloween Town guy.
Hocus Pocus.
Oh, Halloween movie. My favorite scary movie is It Follows.
I like the Halloween Town movies.
My favorite Halloween movie is Halloween. And I just went to go see the new one, and it was really good also.
What was your favorite costume to wear growing up?
You know, me being a big Cubs fan, I always used to dress up as a Cubs baseball player because, you know, gotta live out the dream somehow.
When I had a guinea pig, me and him matched, so he was a devil and I was an angel, so that was my favorite one.
Me and my brother did Army Rangers, so that was pretty fun.
When I was a kid, I was a witch for like 5 years in a row, so definitely my witch costume.
I typically would dress up as Peter Pan.
What is your favorite Halloween candy?
My favorite is probably Butterfingers. My favorite, I really like a Snickers or a Reese's.
Favorite's gotta be Reese's Cups.
My favorite Halloween candy is definitely a Reese's. I love a good Reese's.
My favorite would be like licorice, like Twizzlers.
What's your least favorite Halloween candy?
I hate Whoppers. I really don't like Whoppers.
Whoppers are pretty terrible.
I hate Whoppers. They just make my stomach feel gross.
My least favorite is Whoppers.
They're disgusting.
Whoppers are the worst.
I really don't like them.
They suck.
Well, that's it for this week's episode of Campus Convos. Be sure to tune in next time. Have a frightful Halloween. For BUTV News, I'm Ben Pollard.
Thank you, Ben. We had some technical difficulties with the live shot, but we just want you to know if you're interested in Wags for Mags, go to their Facebook page at Wags for Mags. Up next, Carly Chana has your latest in sports.
And find out why one athlete is doing off the court after this break.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
And Carly is here, and I've heard we've had some champions, haven't we?
Yeah, Bradley Sports actually did pretty good this past week. So
Yeah, a lot of success for everyone.
Yeah, no, good matches, so good games. But the Bradley cross country teams were scary good this weekend in the Missouri Valley Championship, as both the women and the men placed first in their respective events. For the women, 3 runners placed in the top 10, resulting in a team score of 57 points. The Braves beat out Loyola with 75 and Illinois State with 85. For the men, the first 5 finishers all placed in the top 12, earning a combined score of 40. The Braves beat out Illinois State with 71 and Drake with 93. The teams also earned accolades outside of the course this week. The teams combined to have 9 runners named as MVC Scholar Athlete honorees, which ties a conference record. The next meet for each team is the NCAA Midwest Regional on November 9th. There were no tricks for Bradley soccer this Saturday, just treats, as the Braves won an overtime thriller against Western Illinois. The Braves beat the Leathernecks 1-0 after junior defender John Polifrone scored in the 108th minute of the game in double overtime. Goaltender Albert Rainwart also recorded 5 saves, helping Bradley secure the win. Bradley finishes the 2018 regular season schedule next Saturday, hosting Evansville at Shea Stadium at 7 p.m. Women's volleyball traveled to Indiana this past weekend to take on Evansville and Indiana State. The volleyball team won the match against Evansville 3-2, but suffered a loss against Indiana State the next day, 3-1. Senior Erica Haslag recorded a team-high 28 kills, and freshman Hannah Thompson registered her 15th double-double of the year. The volleyball team returns home next weekend with 2 matches against Northern Iowa. You might have seen Abby Erke around campus or playing for the volleyball team on a Friday or Saturday night. However, she's found a new hobby that's given her a chance to help the environment.
Geisert collects a total of 900 pounds of food waste during an average week between both dining halls. When Abby Erke found out about this, she wanted to do something about it.
My project started from an English proposal, a paper that I wrote for a class actually. I decided upon writing it that I thought maybe I should give it a try, and so I brought it to Gail Hansen in Dining Services, and she was super helpful, and one thing led to another, and I had a composting program.
The food waste has been taken to Renaissance Park Community Garden, only a few blocks down Main Street. The garden is open to the community. Anyone is able to plant fruits, veggies, or whatever they desire. Abby explains how the food waste collected is developed into soil.
The compost project is pretty much me sitting next to some 5-gallon buckets in Geisert, and then I'll take the food waste to this garden here, and I'll put it in the compost bins, and after a certain amount of time it turns into soil and we actually use it here.
Even though Abby is busy as a finance and Spanish double major along with being a member of the volleyball team, she still finds time to continue her work with the garden.
It's a little difficult, I will admit, but for me it's just finding what things are priorities at that moment, and I do my best to get them done.
You know, it's like really awesome what she's doing, and also the fact that it happens right here on campus, you know?
I
So
know,
how do you guys feel about that?
It was really awesome to get to know her too. She's really awesome.
BUTV should start their own composting bin.
You should. I'd be all for it.
Up next, we'll take a look at some upcoming events on campus.
And a spooky musical number you won't want to miss.
It's harder whenever there's a bigger group. Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it, I see it! Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at some upcoming events around campus. Tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. in the Student Center Ballroom, the English department is hosting a fictional reading by Manuel Munoz. Munoz is the author of What You See in the Dark. This event is free and open to the public. Tomorrow evening, you can catch a screening of Crazy Rich Asians in the Marty Theater. This romantic comedy is based on the global bestseller and follows a native New Yorker as she heads to Singapore to meet her boyfriend's family.
So what were some of our Halloween costumes today?
I actually went as a farmer.
Oh.
I dressed up as Anthony Landau, as you can see.
I dressed up as Larry Larson, so we're matching, kind of-ish.
My roommate and I, we went as Lilo and Stitch from Disney Channel.
Oh, that's a good one.
Nice. I ended up being Minnie Mouse.
Nice.
Oh, wonderful. Well, that's all for tonight from all of us here at BUTV News. Happy Halloween. We leave you with a spooky performance from advanced keyboard class at Bradley. Have a great night, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.